We're born into a certain world. Some might think it's brutal. I say it's glorious.
What does a movie about an assault on a drug kingpin's apartment, an undercover operation mafia thriller, and a period piece horror flick have in common? This man and the most beautiful fight scenes you will ever see. Coming back to him, this is Gareth Evans. He is a well screenwriter, editor, action choreographer, director, and overall just a mad lad.
I always dreamt I was making films, and then I reached a point where I was about 17 or 18, everyone was kind of looking to get their first car, I was looking to get my first camcorder.
And this is his new epic saga.
My father was taken from us on the streets of London.
There was a time when nobody would have dared touch this family.
I'm gonna make things right, Mum.
Sean Wallace himself tasking me to find the guy who killed his father.
We are making enemies out of business partners. We've got to find a peaceful solution to this.
I'm not interested in peace.
Take Peaky Blinders, the cinematography, the acting, and the writing. Now add the best fight scenes in a TV show. Sprinkle in some Godfather-esque family dynamics. Set it in modern day London. And voila, you have the potential to have the best action series of the year. Bonus points if one of the lead characters is basically British John Wick.
What was it? 6 of them?
8. But I had a dart, so...
Gangs of London follows Sean Wallace, played by Joe Cole. Yes, John Shelby has finally realized his potential and left the Peaky Blinders to become the head of the Wallace family. So, after his father, the biggest crime boss in London, is killed, Sean, like any sane person, sets out to find and brutally kill the people responsible for the murder.
Everything stops until I find out who killed him.
Right now it seems very similar to the average British TV show. I mean, we had Mac Mafia just a couple of years back with very similar vibe. There's the much compared Peaky Blinders about a gang in 1920s London. What makes this show that much more exciting is everything combined it has going for it.
I'd always had this idea in my head for a TV show about what if the head of a large organization is killed? What's the power vacuum?
Everything stops
And what becomes of the infrastructure?
until I find out who killed him.
Let's get one thing out of the way. Although it is going to be brutal, probably the most brutal show to air this year. I mean, the show starts with a guy getting roasted alive. But it is not just about the violence. Gareth has grown a lot since the Raid 1. And even that movie had some really solid writing. It just didn't have the most complex story. But that changed with the Raid 2. Even the runtime increased by 50 minutes. And that is increasing to 9 hours in Gangs of London. They are set out to tell a very personal story through some very broken and despicable characters, with London as their stage.
Obviously, action is a big part of the show,
The fight scenes are fantastic, you know, they're really magnificent.
but there has to be more to it than that. And so I think what fundamentally became the linchpin for the show was it's about family, the Wallaces and the Dumanis.
This show, out of all, has the most potential to be the next big thing. Everyone is at home and in need of distraction. And these people are more than qualified for that.
We all gravitated to this idea of a saga, something that felt Shakespearean, felt bigger.
When we know who it is, we'll destroy them.
We wanted to really push the scale of it and visually create something visceral and push it as far as you could.
This is Matt. He is the lead cinematographer for Gangs of London and is the reason scenes like this are possible. We can already see how incredible this show looks. So, now we have an awesome action director, accompanied by an amazing cinematographer. But what about the people we will see?
We were incredibly fortunate to work with Joe Cole, who's magnificent as Sean. I'm really excited for people to meet Chope. He plays Elliot. He's a rock star already in the making.
Joe Cole has already cemented his name as a great actor through Peaky Blinders, where he played a British gangster part of a crime family. There's Shoppy. He's not been in any major productions as of yet, but if the sneak peeks are anything to go by, he might be the highlight of the show. There's Michelle, who plays Sean's mother.
Marion is married to Finn Wallace, and family is Marion's main drive. And keeping her family together, and revenging her family, and making sure they not only stay alive, but they retain the power without hesitation.
So basically, she is the more British version of Catelyn Stark. A lot of actors coming from theatre. So it's probably safe to say the acting will be pretty damn good. Another major thing they talked about is the portrayal of the city of London. They are not out to make a documentary-esque series. They are here to tell an amazing story with some incredible action. They took London and made it a character in itself. And we have seen how incredible that can look with Peaky Blinders. Every shot good enough to be a wallpaper. And now, modern day London looks as amazing.
Action.
We needed to create this heightened genreverse, that London would not be London as perhaps the viewer might know it, but it would be a place where a fable about rapacious capitalism could play out in a way that was very fun and fresh and inventive and surprising.
With all the people included in this project and the things we have seen, I'm willing to bet that this, if nothing else, is going to be the most action-packed and entertaining show of the year. And in this era of destroyed Game of Thrones and woke garbage, this might be the breath of fresh air. It's time to see what European cinema, Asian action, and American blockbuster look like.
This was an opportunity to tell a story that could be a novel. It was a 10-hour film in a way. We were taking characters that are larger than life, taking a storyline that's larger than life. We're not trying to make a social commentary. That was never interesting to us. What was interesting to us was a world of cinema.
We're born into a certain world. Some might think it's brutal. I say it's glorious.